how are you going? I will just wait to see you all jump on. So I'll wait for a couple of minutes and start to see you all coming on so we can say hello and we can get started. So starting a bit earlier tonight, which is great. Hopefully everyone upstairs in my house behaves themselves and we don't have anyone running down to say hello. But I'll wait till everyone jumps on. And once you do jump on, please say hello, where you're calling in from or dialing in from. And of course, I'd love to see your name as well. So say good day, let me know that you're there. And I will just get all my things sorted out, have a quick drink of water, and then we'll be off. Oh, Diane, it's so good to see you in here again. I love seeing all the names popping up. That's the coolest thing about doing these workshops is you get to see everyone's names and get to know everyone. Hi, Mark. How you going? It's good to see Maxine in there. Hi, Colleen. Oh, from Adelaide, my hometown. I miss Adelaide. I haven't been down there for a while. Diane, hello from Melbourne. Yeah. All the best down there. Gosh, you guys have had a big year, a massive year. Well, that was a quick turnaround for me. I've been at my daughter's netball, so I'm coaching her netball team, and then they had some tryouts for some rep netball after that. So it was a very quick turnaround. I only got home sort of half an hour ago. I was getting a bit worried I was going to miss the time, but we're here. Alrighty, so as everyone's jumping on, tonight it's going to be absolutely focused on the culture wellness programs. And I really want to talk about the aim of the program. I want to talk about who the program is for. And I want to, give you a walkthrough. I want to take you behind the scenes and have a look at how cool it is and have a look at the online culture wellness portal. And I also want to talk about, what do you get out of the program? So once again, this is a really great opportunity to ask me questions. So I can see your comments coming up here. Someone's just jumped on from Perth. Hello, it's lovely to see you. So that's really the aim of tonight, is just to go through the program. There's been lots and lots of action happening. Everyone, is starting to, obviously we're closing out intake for our program on Friday. So everyone's booking their discovery calls, asking questions, and there's so much happening. So I want to make sure that we can go through this so you're all confident that you know all the ins and outs by Friday. So Elisa and I have been doing lots of discovery calls. So lots of people have been taking advantage of the free discovery calls to book in with us to talk about, the specific conditions and what's going on for you personally. And so that's been amazing. We really, really like doing the discovery calls because we can really get a grasp and an understanding of what is going on for people, what people need, and also what they want. And so it's been actually a really interesting process over the last couple of days. So you guys would know that, I've been so stoked about offering the Culture Wellness Tailored program, our one-on-one program, but also offering community circles as a way for people to share, touch base, to have more time with me in my calendar. And so I was, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to share these community circles. But what's happened from us talking with everyone and all you dear workshop participants is that most people are really wanting to just focus on doing the one-on-one with either myself or with one of the culture wellness health coaches, so Elisa or Ange, and just focusing on the one-on-one. And a lot of people are saying that the community circles isn't resonating with them. It's not something that they need at this point in time. And I totally get that. So, we want to do what you guys need. And so we've had a bit of a think about it in the last 24 hours. And we really want to make sure that we're offering what everyone needs at this point in time. So we will open up for this intake that finishes on Friday, one-on-one of our optimal gut health program, so our tailored program, to work just directly with either me or with one of our beautiful health coaches. So that's an awesome thing that sort of changed in, today because of listening to everyone's needs and what they want. There's more reasons for that, so I'm going to get into that in a minute. But the other reason was that everyone wanted to go at their own pace, that they didn't want to feel like they were, having to keep up with everyone else in the community circles. And I totally get that. And then lots of people are asking questions today and in the discovery calls in the last couple of days about Christmas. And so I wanted to cover off that as well. So on our end, we've totally factored Christmas in. We, serve our beautiful community over Christmas. We know for some people, Christmas is actually the hardest time of the year, and people don't suddenly become well and don't need support over Christmas. So that's something that we've always done at Culture Wellness, is supporting people over Christmas and making sure, we're obviously not going to be open on Christmas Day, but we make sure that we have lots of support over that time when most businesses would shut down. So the discovery calls have been just wonderful, as they always are. And I'm so grateful to everyone that I've been doing the discovery calls with, and Elisa's the same, in that, we've been able to kind of regroup and realize what you guys need from us is more our one-on-one tailored support. And so that's what we will offer. So we will send out some information, and Elisa and the guys will put up some links for that too. So if you want to work directly with me on the Optimal Gut Health Program, so the tailored 6-month program, I have very, very limited spaces in my calendar. And so you will want to jump on that very quickly. If you do the Culture Wellness program with me at the moment, when we do workshops, we give off a $1,000 gift voucher when working with me, and a $500 gift voucher when working with our health coaches. So all the information will be in the links for you to go through and have a look at the nitty gritty, and I'll get to that in a minute. But yes, it just means that we can tailor the support and care that you need. All right, so the aim of the Optimal Gut Health Program, the big aim is to rebalance your gut. So we want to find out what's going on in your gut, and we want to tailor a treatment plan moving forward where we can rebalance your gut. So minimize or eliminate any of the pathogens in there that are causing the problems, and then also rebalancing and providing new microbes and growing new microbes so you can get that diversity and you can get that support, that robust digestive capability, those immune system supports. And so we want to bring about balance. So the overall aim of the gut, of our program is to bring about that balance. And then under that, what filters down is it supports our mental health. It supports our brain cognition. We work on enabling and making sure that you have the tools to keep this up for the rest of your life. So the whole point of it is that it's not a quick fix. It's not something that you do and then you go back to normal life. This is implementing tools and strategies for change for the rest of your life. And so the aim is to really just have new patterns, new routines in place, and so you're always feeling successful. The other big aim for the Culture Wellness program is to guide and support you through. And Chrissy had an incredible comment today, and I'm just going to answer that comment now, because exactly what she said is kind of the epitome of why we do our wonderful program. So I'm just going to bring that up so I can read it. So Chrissy said here, she's excited about the one-on-one option that we've been talking about and keen on implementing all of this, but her kids are very sensitive to new tastes and just changing over in the last 4 months away from gluten and dairy and preservative-free has been really hard. And with Sydney lockdown, homeschooling, all of that hasn't helped. Gosh, Chrissy, I feel for you. So the biggest concern is joining the program, as there's no point if they won't eat the food. Do you have any tips on this? And my 7-year-old son is borderline ADHD and has behavioral issues relating to food, chemicals, and 5-year-old has been extremely fussy eater her whole life and refuses to eat for over 24 hours sometimes. And the 18-month-old has peanut allergies, dark circles, eczema after strong antibiotics, and 6 weeks old on low sec. So will I be able to successfully complete the program with them, as it's been quite stressful doing the small things? And I'm not really confident that they'll eat the fermented foods at this point. So Chrissy, that is exactly what we see when people come on program. So we expect that kids won't eat the food, and a lot of adults. We expect that there's going to be pushback. We expect that it's going to take time to get on program. And we expect that there's going to be periods of time of learning. And that's what happens when you need to make, change, and we need to guide and support you through that. So that's actually our main aim and our main role of what we do as your support team on the program, is to get in the trenches with you, and every time we meet, to give you tools and supports to implement these things. And so it's not about you, and it's not about can you do this, or will the kids do it. They will. We see it all the time. We have the fussiest eaters come on program. We have kids with all sorts of issues and adults with all sorts of issues. I had lots of people say to me today, oh, I'm just too complex, or I'm too anxious. There's no way that I could do the program. But that's exactly the community and the patients that we treat. We are sort of the last stop for people that have tried lots of things, and we expect that it's a hard slog, that we're going to be there with you, and we give you the tools and the support. So, for you, Chrissy, and for other people, when you've got those concerns about, well, are they even going to eat it? Is it going to work? Can I do it? Can I manage it? That's our job, to support you, to help you to have everything in place so it's successful. So, I think there's this big expectation all the time when people come on program about, can I do it? And all those sorts of things. But you absolutely can. And the amount of resources and support that we put in place means that it's successful. And if things aren't working out, we troubleshoot, we change, we pivot. And that's the cool thing about the one-on-one program, is because it's so tailored. We meet with you all the time, and then we're constantly going over, okay, this isn't working, let's try this. And for the kids, it's really interesting, because when their bugs are out of balance in their gut, and it's the same for adults as well, you're not going to eat fermented foods. You're not going to like fermented foods, because there's an imbalance in the gut that means that the pathogens within your gut are going to want sugar, carbohydrates. They're going to want these things. They've got this expectation that they are going to get all of these foods and fuel sources. So we expect that. So it's about tweaking and slowly but surely changing that gut microbiome. And it's so cool. And we see it all the time where, kids start eating fermented foods, and they start eating the gummies, and they start having the broth, and slowly but surely they make change. But yes, we expect everyone to have hiccups when they start. Things are hard, but we have guided so many families through this. We've got all of the tips and tricks and tools and all sorts under the sun. And obviously for me, coming from my teaching background, I've got lots and lots of skills in that area. Alrighty, so that's the aim of the Culture Wellness Program. It's not just a quick fix. We aim to set up you guys for the rest of your life for overall wellness coming from your gut. So who is the program for? So the program, of course, is for everyone. I think everyone should do a gut rebalancing program, because it is so important for how it impacts our lives. but is very specifically, for people who have chronic conditions, who have, food issues like intolerances, mental health issues, autoimmune conditions. We at Culture Wellness, because of the way that we do things, and we see you so often, it's this one-on-one care. It's so supported. It's so tailored. We do see people that have kind of tried everything and then they end up with us, and then that's where they find that success and find that change in their lives. Because all of us, that work on the Culture Wellness team, we've been at that point and had to kind of come out of it using the Culture Wellness program. So we see a lot of people that are very chronically unwell, been like that for 20, 30 years. We see people who can't work. We see people who can't socialize, that are in a lot of pain, that have a lot of gut issues, whether it be bloating or diarrhea or gas or those sorts of things. We see fatigue issues. We see Crohn's, ulcerative colitis. We just see it all. And so the program is for anyone who is struggling really with health concerns. That it's as simple as that. But the program is also really awesome for families. So I highly, highly recommend that if you are in a family environment, everybody jumps on board. And so what happens with family members is we have the one-on-one program for the family. So that overarching fee for the family. And then for each family member that wants to be on program, we add that family member on to that overall initial program cost. And so each family member will be an extra $315 from the overall program cost, just so we can organise to have a naturopathic consult and organise any extra supports, testing, so forth. So definitely work together as a family. Now, the other thing that I see all the time is by the time families come to us, mum is done. Like mum's tired, mum's done, exhausted, run out of steam, hasn't got the energy or the zing to implement. And generally mum, if mum's driving the program, generally mum is also struggling with some form of health condition as well. So often what we do is we get mum started and implement the change with mum, start implementing food and ferments and get those detox tools going, work on lifestyle routines. And then when mum's feeling more robust, more energetic, in a routine, feeling like, you're in control and we're working together, that's when we slowly start to bring the kids on program. So it's very much a staggered approach for some families because mums are done. Chrissy, that would be you. Yes, I'm so glad to see you on here. Mums are done. And so when you're done, it's virtually impossible to then sit back with that bird's eye view to be able to troubleshoot and do all the hacking, biohacking stuff, work out, oh my gosh, like what's my menu plan? How do I bulk cook? Where do I buy this food from? How do I make these things? You can't do that when you are struggling and you're in the trenches with your kids. So we need to, put the oxygen mask on, work with mum, get into a routine, and then off we go with the kids. So that is another way that we do things. But of course, everyone's different. So we work with individuals, we work with families, and we work from that whole spectrum of gut issues, chronic issues, mental health issues, and so forth. Alrighty, so when we are looking at going through the program, the biggest thing and the coolest thing about the Culture Wellness program is the level of information and knowledge that you get on program. I remember once someone saying to me like, oh, do I get a qualification and a certificate out of this? And I was like, oh gosh, no. And then when I thought about it, there's just so much wonderful information in there. at such a high level of information that I can understand why someone, when they finish the program, would be like, hey, I want some qualifications out of this. So there are no qualifications out of it, unfortunately, but you've got life skills, and you've got skills to set you up for overall health for the rest of your life. So to me, that's the best qualification. So when writing the Culture Wellness program, obviously for me, coming from a teaching background, I wanted to make sure that every style of learner was accommodated. And so in the Culture Wellness program, there's lots of videos from me. So if you learn just by listening, there's lots and lots of videos each week of me teaching you about detox tools or teaching you about fermenting and so forth. So if you like to learn like this, then there's lots of videos like that. If you like to learn by reading and taking notes and consolidating your thoughts, then there's information there too. If you like to listen to podcasts, if you like to read research papers, all of those styles of learning are factored into the Cultured Wellness program when you go on the online portal. So that's a really cool thing. I have had people work on the one-on-one program with me that have been so overwhelmed, so tired, there's so much going on that they haven't opened a module until about week 12 where they've got some energy. And so we've just gone through week by week, going through the steps and the structure of a small bite-sized bit to do for that particular week. And then slowly but surely, they've had enough energy to go back and read and learn. So there's a lot of you who probably haven't got the sort of headspace at the moment to do that reading, and that's fine. You have access to the program and all of the modules and all the learning for the rest of your life forever. So, in 2 years' time, you can go back and read it and learn more. And we're always updating it as well with the latest research. So you can certainly go through all of that. Okay. The other thing before I take you for a walkthrough on the program is to please really take advantage of being able to book a discovery call with us. It's really important that you're heard and that we understand what's going on for you and where you're coming from and how best that we can help you. So it's really important to, book the discovery call button, reach out and, make that time so we can listen and we can guide you through what the best support is and what the best program is for you with regards to what's going on, what testing that you might need, and so forth. So make the most of that. We don't do discovery calls until we're doing an intake. So we don't do them very often. So make sure you do it and you book it. I think Elisa will probably put up a link to book those discovery calls in. Now, we are closing our program intake on Friday, as you guys know. If you have booked a discovery call and we haven't been able to fit you in and your discovery call's next week, maybe on Monday or so forth, that's fine. We will still hold your place for the program because you booked your discovery call in and we know that you're interested and you're keen to join program. Okay. Now, let's have a look. I'm going to go through some go-tos. There's a few questions here, so I'll just make sure that I answer them first. What is the difference between activated charcoal, zeolite, bentonite clay, and when and how often do we use them? Stephanie, that's a great question. So they are all binders. So what that means is they all bind to toxins and to endotoxins within the body. So we use them as detox tools. We don't use zeolite. It's quite harsh on the body and it's quite harsh on the digestive system. So we don't use that one, but activated charcoal is really, really good for water-soluble endotoxins, mycotoxins, so from mycotoxins from things like mold. And then the bentonite clay is really good at supporting the elimination of fat-soluble toxins that bind to fibers and then move out through the gut. And so that's taken as a powdered drink. And yeah, that's really, really supportive for eliminating hormones especially and moving them out through the body. Okay, and we take the detox tools during program most days, and we often take the charcoal and the clay in the same day at separate times. So, and that's something that we will teach you on program, is when to take it. So is it possible to do the 6-month self-guided program and add coaching sessions as needed? So yes, it is possible to do the online self-guided 6-month program. And during that time, you can add on extra coaching sessions if you like. So very, very important, because we need to be able to watch you. We need to be able to help you with your pantry and all your food, help you with all of those choices there. So, oh yeah, Elisa's answered there. Thank you, Elisa, for putting up that discovery calls. Okay. So the one-on-one coaching sessions will change depending on how many you buy at a time, but Elisa will put up some links and some information there as well. She's probably madly finding it. All right, so let's go for a drive. I'm going to take you through the program. So the first thing is I'm going to screen share, so just hold tight. I want to get it right and make sure that I can screen share the right thing. Hang on. I want to do that one. Okay. So hopefully, and can you please give me a thumbs up? Can you guys see this? Hopefully you can see this. I'm trying to get really tricky and screen share. So when you join the Culture Wellness program, you receive this first module, which is the Welcome to Program. And this is the really cool stuff about the Culture Wellness program, is that it teaches you, the real basics of getting started. So as you can see there, and I might actually, hopefully, sorry, let me just get this right. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm just going to go and pop back in here and see that has it gone down. Here we go. So I know it's a little bit small, but this is what you'll see when, oh, Diane, you can't see it? Okay, hopefully you can see it now. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you can see it. So with the Welcome to Program, these first modules that you go through, we go through a self-care and self-love on the program. So I interview the most incredible woman. Her name is Kim Morrison. She's a dear friend of mine, and she owns a company called 28, and she specializes in self-care. So I have a chat with Kim Morrison. She's done the Culture Wellness program as well, and we have a chat about self-care on program, and it's such an awesome podcast. So this just kind of gets you set up. There's also a module in there about resources to listen to, so podcasts and suggested reading. And then there's also an incredible interview with 2 amazing health psychologists that, are colleagues of ours at Culture Wellness. So the first one is with Jess. Jess just had a baby a couple of days ago. Elisa, you may not have seen that, but Jess just had a little baby. And Jess talks about the mental health toolkit. Now, once again, Jess, as a psychologist, has done the Culture Wellness program, and it's something that she wanted to offer back to the Culture Wellness community, was this toolkits and the things that she used as a psychologist on program to support her through her program journey. And then we've got another great interview there with Didi, and she's a health psychologist, and talking with Didi about our relationships with food, with eating behaviors, finding the right balance, and just getting that headset going, and making sure that we are setting ourselves up for that sort of optimal situation for being on program. Okay, and then we also have the barometers of health there. So we do a bit of a quick sort of looking at what are what's going on with your stool. Get to know your poo. We have a look through the microba test in there. We look at this, do a workshop on the 101 of your stools, look at digestive function, brain function, of course, exercise, detox tools, and nourishing foods. And then we go into this is the best part that I love most about this first welcome module, is just all the beautiful, inspiring stories. I just love listening to people's stories and how they have healed themselves and they've made changes and turned things around. So there's some great stories there as well. So I'm going to also now share the Kickstarter recipes that you will find on the Culture Wellness program. So when you join the program, you will change your food. You will eat the Cultured Wellness Therapeutic Ketogenic Diet. So there's some learning in that, and don't worry, we go through it and we teach you how to bulk cook and bulk ferment. We go through it all. We have taken thousands of people through this program, so we know how to get you set up for it. And so when you're changing over, it's really important to have great resources and great recipes. So we've got I'll just show, hang on. Let me find that one. Okay. So you can see here, and I'll just bring it into the screen here. You can see here, as part of your online portal, there's a whole heap of Kickstarter. So Kickstarter is our foundational program. So the first 8 weeks of the program, where we put all those foundations in place, and that's certainly understanding and learning about the therapeutic ketogenic diet. And so we've got these incredible Kickstarter recipes that you can make and cook on program. So you can see that we've got some great hot drinks there. There's those fermented juices and smoothies, and then also going into the beautiful breakfast that you can make on program, the side dishes, and then some examples of some mains that you can have on program. This is my favorite one, the chicken and leek shepherd's pie. I love that one. And I love bulk cooking these zucchini, lamb, and basil rissoles, making huge sort of bulk cooking in those and having them in the freezer. We've got soups and purees, which are really, really yummy. And then, of course, all the condiments. And then we go into all the yummy fermented foods and all the different types of yogurts you can make and kiffers that you can make and ice blocks and so forth. So there's a lot. And then, yes, the sweet treats. And can you see, and just double check you guys can see this, can you see that the first sweet treat is ice cream here? And then we've got fermented mango squares, a bit like a Wheat bar, gummies. We've got some like a mousse there, panna cottas. So you are not going to starve. You are not going to miss out at all. Lots of ice blocks for the kids. I've had some kids that start program and they have this ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the first 3 days. They don't know that it's full of eggs and beautiful proteins and good quality fats. They don't know that it's good for them, but it just tastes like beautiful ice cream. And so, I've had kids that have just had panna cottas for breakfast, and whilst they get their gut microbiome and their microbes change and start to request different foods, and their mouth biome changes to be able to want fermented foods. So there's some really awesome recipes in there that we can support you to make, teach you how to make them in bulk. And they're the foundations to get you through on program. So that's the recipes there. So I'll stop screen sharing those recipes. And then the last thing that I want to show you is let me just get this one up and do a screen share, is the actual, not that one. Got that one wrong. Hang on a minute. I'm trying to be really tricky here. Let's see how I go. Yay, I did it. Here we go. Show it in the screen. Get you guys sorted. Okay, so this is our Kickstarter program. So the first one that I showed you was the welcome to program. That's just to get you in the mood, do some, watch some lovely inspiring videos, get yourself organized. And then we've got the prep week here, which is where, what do you expect? We've got the printables and the roadmaps there, give you some information about your pantry overhaul, setting your goals and intentions, and also a really important one there that you can see about language, about how do you share with your family members what you're doing and what's happening. And so that's your prep week, and then we get stuck into the nitty-gritty. So the first week is where we teach you all about these awesome, nourishing foods. We go into the nitty-gritty of nutritional ketosis, that therapeutic ketosis, and all the foods that are going to support you. The next week, we look at introducing fermented foods and cultures. And then we go into the detox tools. What detox tools do we use? When do we take them? What resources do we have? How do we do them? And these detox tools are really the reason why some people, they embark on programs like this and they change things up and they try to get started and they fail and they can't keep going. They stop, they lose faith, they lose sight. And the reason why is because they affect so much change in their body by changing their diet, adding fermented foods, but they don't do the detox tools. And the detox tools are there to mop up the endotoxins and to mop up all of that toxicity that's making you feel crapola and in pain and impacting your mental health. And so people give up because they feel worse. And there's so many programs that don't factor that in. And so I think it's almost impossible to do a program that changes your body and changes things if you don't have these detox tools in place and you're not working with someone to guide you and pop them in and understand how to take them, when to take them, and so forth. Okay, so week 4, we go through digestion. We have a talk about, are you sitting and eating mindfully? How is your digestion going? Do you have enough stomach acid? Do you have enough pancreatic enzymes? Are you deficient in some of your nutrients? And there's some more information here, if you haven't already, about your microbiome testing, and also more information about not what you eat, you are what you absorb. So that week 4 digestion is great. Then we go into lifestyle, detox, looking at reducing the toxins in your environment and also making sure that we've got great clean water, the air that we breathe in is really healthy for us, what's going on in our home, environmental EMS, those, radio fields that are really impacting our body. We then go into movement and exercise and talk about lymphatic system and how important exercise is for our microbiome. And then the big one for a lot of people with mental health issues is to navigate sleep and really support you with the knowledge of how to get into great sleep. And then we go into week 8, which is learning about our mouth biome and how to support changing the microbiome in our mouth. And so that there is the first 8 weeks of the program. And so that's the foundations. Let me just hide this. Here I come, I'm back. So those first, modules on the Kickstarter program is where we bed it down and we get you in a routine and it just happens. You're just in the flow. After those modules and bedding down for that first amount of time, then we start to see your microba test coming back. We start to see your blood tests. We might be doing oats test, hormones test, and we start to see those results coming in. And then that's when we get started on organizing your treatment plan for whether it be cleansers, which, you know, everyone will do some form of cleansing depending on what's going on in the gut. We do a lot of biofilm work, so breaking down that protective layer that those pathogens have. And then we go about doing gut sealing, so rebuilding and putting back in the structure of your gut lining, so to get rid of that leaky gut, that permeability, make it nice and strong. You know, make sure that it's looking after you and absorbing that nutrients. And then after we go through a period of cleansing, we go to food reintroduction. So we systematically and go through in a structure, reintroducing foods, which one serves you and which ones don't serve you. And so you can really confidently and successfully start to add things in and work out, that food still inflames me, not right, you know, not for me right now. That food's perfect, I feel awesome. And, you know, we teach you things like heart rate variability, testing through measuring your heart rate. Has it spiked up because you've eaten something? I mean, we've all had, you know, like some food or a glass of wine or something, and the heart rate goes up and everything starts to, you know, be inflamed and be stressed. And so, you know, the food reintroduction is just as important as those foundational principles that we teach, because you don't want to like do all of this hard work only to just throw food back in and start getting back into that inflamed environment again. So that hand-holding and that guidance is just as important as when you start the program. Hold tight, I need a drink. Okay. All right. That is so cool. Thank you. It says Facebook user there, so I can't see your name. So I'm sorry I can't refer to your name, but that's so lovely that you've been through the videos twice and you're going to sit down and take notes. I'm so glad. That's so awesome. So that is the program in a nutshell when it comes to the content and so what we teach you. The coolest thing is that during the program, working one-on-one, of course, you have direct access to us. We do the consults online via our clinic platform. So all you need to do, you don't need to be tech savvy at all. All you need to do is just click the button in the email that's sent to you for your appointment time. And then you just pop up like this and we're on a screen and we start to chat. So really, really easy. It's extremely easy to log in to that platform. And because we meet each week, if you're having any troubles, then I can just jump in, or one of the health coaches, Elisa, can just jump in and we can guide you through and we can show you how to log in and how to troubleshoot things. So you're definitely not left alone trying to work out how to navigate the program or how to navigate your appointment times. Now also, we have, as part of the one-on-one program, a tailored and supportive Facebook group just for our clients. So it's a private group, and this is where everyone gets to share. And it's a bit like what I was talking about with the community circles. Get to share recipes, inspiration. You get to ask questions. How did you get your kids to do this? Or, you know, even little things like, where do you buy your meat from? I'm on the South Coast. Or, you know, if you've bought a ketone monitor, for example, to measure your ketones, troubleshooting and asking questions. So that Facebook group is, we have someone monitoring that and supporting that every single day. And so we have a health coach or myself or a practitioner or someone jumping in there and answering your questions. So even if you have had your consult for the week and you're waiting for your next consult next week, you can still ask away and ask the questions. And it might be a fermenting question, or it might be a question about, where do I get a really good slow cooker from? No question is too silly or too simple, because everyone's been through it. that I really love the fact that we have that Facebook group and people really utilize it. Now, also on the tailored one-on-one program, the Optimal Gut Health program, being tailored, you also have the opportunity to have your consults with our naturopathic practitioners. And so that means going through your bloods, going through your microba test or your gut testing, going through any other testing, and also having your medicinal herbs prescribed for you. So at Culture Wellness, we are really big fans of medicinal herbal medicine. I can't get enough of it. It works so synergistically with our body. It's not like a single dose of something. It's this whole sort of body repair. And so as part of the program, when we do cleanses, or if you've got immune issues, or you've got hormone issues, if you've got diabetes and you've got metabolic issues, we can tailor and make herbal blends for you for what's going on for you. So lots of mums, we have them on adrenal herbs to support their adrenals while they're going through program. We have people on herbs if they're not coping with cravings because, they've eaten a lot of sugar and carbohydrates in their life and now they're, swapping over. So we have that opportunity being a naturopathic clinic that we can provide you with medicinal herbs in prescribed herbs. And also we can prescribe for you naturopathic supplements to support whatever's going on with your bloods or in your testing. So those naturopathic consults are really important to tailor and support you. And you have 3 of those consults over the course of your 6 months. And then your health coach is always checking in. We have clinic teams, a couple of times a week. We're always checking in and always making sure that everyone knows what's going on with our patients and checking in to make sure that, there's sort of that team approach. And if there's anything else that's needed, we can provide that. So you've got the naturopathic consults there, which is really, really wonderful. So just give me 2 secs. I want to make sure that I have covered everything off. So in the one-on-one program, you have 12 consults with your health coach. You have the 3 practitioner consults with your naturopath. And then the private Facebook group, we've got the online learning. This is the coolest thing about the program. You get 20 free Culture Wellness cultures. So you don't get them all at once, so don't worry. We send them out drip feeding. So you get the 20 cultures, so and you can choose whether that's yoga or kefir. And so you can start your fermenting journey. So that's part of the program. And then you also get a copy of the Guttalicious Book, so a signed copy from me, which is a beautiful Guttalicious book. And also, once again, as I said before, when you join by Friday with our one-on-one, you will get a gift voucher. So that makes the biggest difference because you can pay for your testing, you can pay for your detox tools, anything that you need. Now, because it's a tailored one-on-one program and we don't know what you are going to need, what supports you need, we don't include the supplements in the price. So that's why the gift voucher is so cool, because once we know what you need and what testing you need, you can apply that gift voucher. So there will be some extra costs for supplements and for anything extra that you need on top for your tailored program. So that's just something to keep in mind. Alrighty, do you have herbs for concentration and focus? I'm struggling with this at the moment. Yes, we actually have a herbal blend, and it was, first of all, I developed it with one of our naturopaths that isn't working with us anymore, and it's called a Neurotonic. So it's specifically for neural pathways and supporting our, neural cognition and brain cognition. It's got beautiful herbs like rosemary in there, and it's also got saffron. And in the literature and in the research, herbs that we know really support and stimulate the brain. So yes, we do kind of have a herb, medicinal herbs for everything. It's very, very cool. And I, funnily enough, I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Before I do these kinds of talks where I'm talking for like an hour and a half and it's on, I always have a little shot of the Neurotonic before I come on, just so my brain is completely switched on for you guys. Okay, so Chrissy, are those recipes in the Guttalicious book you mentioned before as well? So yes, so Chrissy, the Guttalicious book is amazing. Geordie, who took all the pictures, holy smoke, she's so talented. To me, it looks like a piece of artwork. She is so incredibly talented. The Guttalicious book is all the recipes in there are the beautiful recipes for living very much a cultured wellness, ketogenic lifestyle. We've taken some of the recipes from them and made them completely what we call Kickstarter approved, which is that first sort of 8 weeks of taking out all the inflammation from your diet and just putting your body into a state of calm and just knowing those foods that may inflame. So we have tweaked some of the Guttalicious recipes and put them in that online portal. And then lots of the recipes that you have in Food Reintroduction, in fact, all of them are in the Guttalicious book. So, so there were all those recipes are from Guttalicious or from my other first book, the Functional Fermented Nutrition book, but some of them are tweaked to be Kickstarter approved, if that makes sense. Okay. That's a really great question. Are there any rebates? Are you recognized? So naturopathic consults were recognized and rebates were provided. But recently that has changed. But there are some providers that for the component of the program, which is the naturopathic consults, we can give you rebates for that. But you would actually need to call your health provider because not many of them are doing it anymore. So it is individual and specific. So we can provide you with your receipt for those specific health practitioner consults for a rebate. Kate, are you on here? I can't see if it's you because it just says Facebook user, but lovely to see you. Yes, please reconnect. You must, and need to get your gut sorted out. All right, Chrissy, yes, it does. It looks absolutely beautiful. Guttalicious. It's so inspiring too. I really love it. It's really lovely. Okay, so where am I at here? So I've given you guys a bit of a walkthrough. We've talked about program. And so the biggest thing is that I really want to get across to you this evening that we see lots of people not start program because they think that they will fail on it. And I'd love for you to put up a thumbs up and let me know your story and write something here if this resonates with you. But, it's really, really interesting that I see people say, oh, well, I can't do it, or I probably won't be able to stick to it, or it'll be too overwhelming, so I'm just not going to do it. And we see so many people sort of scared and paralyzed by fear, thinking that they're going to fail, and so they just don't try. And so that really upsets me because we expect everyone has hiccups on program. Everybody has times where they can't completely 100% on one day do the diet, or hiccups happen, something happens. We expect that, and I actually embrace it because the coolest thing about it is we learn from that experience. Like, why did you come home and have a big block of chocolate? Or, what happened? Why did you feel like you needed a glass of wine? Or where did this stress come from? So I see it as a great learning tool when things happen and hiccups happen on program. So if you are that kind of person, and I certainly see it with people that are really struggling with mental health and then have got significant imbalances in their gut, I see people not jumping and not going towards and moving towards the thing that's going to help them just because of this fear of failure, or this fear of not doing it perfectly, or the fear of, oh, I probably won't get it right, so I'm just not going to do it at all. There's not one person, even myself, I get asked this all the time, like, I bet you were perfect on program. Man, I used to be on program and still it took me ages to get away from binge eating. So I had a lot of binge eating issues. I would stop at the supermarket on the way home and I would grab, a big packet of shortbreads, but it was like, oh, they're gluten-free, so it will be fine. And so, it took me a long time to work through those things. And I didn't have any care. I didn't have any support, didn't have anyone in my corner. It would have happened so quickly for me, but I had to learn all these things to be able to put it into a program to support people. So, if you're really struggling with that, that's what we expect. There's no judgment. And perfectionism just doesn't work in life. And so we really help and support you with that. Okay, so I don't really like yoga or kiffer, so don't know if it would work without the culturing aspect. So if you don't like the kiffer or the yoga, which most people don't when they start program, that tells us a lot about what's going on with the microbiome in your mouth. And it also tells us a lot about the microbiome in your gut. So that changes the amount of people that have started program. They're like, oh, I'm just having the yogurt because you told me to. I'm just going to have the teaspoon per day. I'm going to, put it in. And, and each week that they have it, they start to crave it and they start to love it. And then they're having like a cup a day and they can't live without it. And they start taking it on holidays with them. And that's all about the imbalance within our body. So, if someone says to me, like, especially when I used to go and do a lot of public speaking and a lot of workshops when we got to be able to go out in the real life, if someone said to me, the yogurt tastes gross, then I would be like, well, you need it even more. So it just tells us a lot about what's going on with your microbiome. So we can help and guide you through that. And you just start really, really, really low and slow. But the kefir and the yogurt's what's going to get you making yourself feel so good. Someone's written there, the yogurt and the kefir makes me so happy. I always feel my mood lift 15 minutes after having it. Yeah, I'm the same. The yogurt, especially for me, I feel significantly different 10 to 15 minutes after I've eaten it. So that's cool. I'm glad that someone's written that there. Okay, half my car boot is my kitchen stuff when we go. Emma, classic. That's me when I go camping with the kids. It's like taking all the stuff. I love it though. I absolutely love it. Okay, so I think I've covered everything. Please pop up a question as I'm closing now if you've got any extra questions. But really tonight I wanted to recap what was included on the program. And so we've been through that. And I wanted to just make sure that to let you guys know that we've been doing these discovery calls. It's been so cool connecting with so many of you and chatting with everyone about what you need and what you want. And it's become very clear that people are really wanting the one-on-one culture wellness program. And it's what people are needing rather than the community circles. So we have put up some links there, and in the email that will come out this evening with the follow-up, there'll be a link there about the one-on-one tailored programs and the $1,000 gift voucher or the $500 gift voucher and how to get started and all of the things that are on offer with the program and getting you guys sorted out. So I think I've covered everything off. What did you say? Totally when you started, not letting it sit quite so long and then increasing the tartness. Oh, yes, for this is the yogurt. With the kefir, I found it much more tolerable and do half coconut, half apple. And then you really like them now. It's amazing how quickly your taste can change. It's so true. So true. Even the, the most skeptical skeptical kids, grandparents, you name it. I've seen it all. You know, if my brother can eat the Culture Wellness yogurt after a lifetime of absolute sugar addiction, then like I just think the possibilities are endless. Okay. So yes. So that's the cool thing about the one-on-one program and working so individually, you know, on calls is things like social events, working on language, working on how to chat to people about, you know, I'm not going to have that because that food's not serving me, and talking about why, as opposed to I can't eat that, or I'm on a diet so I can't have that. Just supporting people around those social events and situations and what to take and so forth. Okay. No, Emma, we're all weirdos together. So, so I think that's great. All right, everyone. So book your discovery call. Please do that. The intake closes on the 15th. Once again, if you want to work specifically with me on the one-on-one program, I would book in very, very quickly. I have a very small amount of space in my calendar, as you can imagine. I have my current clients. I have all sorts of stuff. I do a lot of speaking and podcasts and all sorts of things. And, you know, I'm a mum. I'm just like you guys. And so my calendar is pretty full. And I've spoken to lots of people in the discovery calls today that because kids, we're on the spectrum, very specific conditions, it's much better. It's not better, but it's important to work with me because of my experiences and all of my skill set. So jump on, make sure, Elisa might put up the links again for you. Make sure that if you want to work with me, do it now. And also with the one-on-one programs, there's also the payment plan options. So you can, for working with me, it's $1,190 over 6 months. And then working with a health coach is $898 over each month over the 6 months. So there's that payment plan option there. And then obviously the gift vouchers. So yeah, what a change, hey? Here I was thinking, the community circles, this is what everyone needs. But I like the fact we get to talk to you guys. We get to get out into community and what do you need? What do you need from us? And how can we help you and how can we support you? That's the biggest thing, the most important thing. All right, everyone, have a wonderful evening. I will maybe just jump back in on Thursday or Friday just to say good day. And the actual Facebook page is still open until the 28th of October. So you can still keep watching the videos. You can still keep asking some questions. And then we'll end up closing the group down. Obviously, as you can imagine, it's lots of resources from the Culture Wellness team to answer questions and keep everything going. So we'll close that down, but we will really look forward to inviting everyone into the Culture Wellness community group if you haven't joined on program, so we can keep talking about fermenting and all sorts of stuff in there. So there's still time. The workshop page will still be open. And so you can still chat. Yeah, but what did you say here, Chrissy? Thank you so much for all your time and info. Oh, it's my pleasure. Your parents have a call with me tomorrow. That's cool. I'll have to book one in too. Yes, do. Oh, Chrissy, I'll have to look out. Hopefully you guys have got the same last name. All right, everyone, have a lovely evening and I'll catch you soon. And I look forward to seeing lots of you in discovery calls and I'm looking forward to guiding lots of you on program. All right, see ya.